Welcome to Public House, intimate conversations with people making a difference in the Hudson Valley. And now from Paula's Public House in Poughkeepsie, here's Paula Young.
Hi, I'm Paula Young, and welcome to this edition of Public House. Today I have a very special guest, a gentleman named Anthony Eack, also known as Tony Getz. Welcome.
Nice to meet you, Paula.
Now, you approached me on Facebook after I had interviewed Karamia Bachioki,
Yes.
because she is someone who works with people who are in recovery.
Correct.
And you and I have had a little relationship on Facebook, and you said, let's talk. So let's talk. Who are you? What do you do?
Well, my name is Anthony Eack, and also known as Tony Getz in Dutchess County.
Right.
I'm a person in long-term recovery myself.
Okay.
And I saw the interview you did with Karamia, and again, she's an amazing lady.
Yes, she is.
You know, and when I saw that interview, I said, wow, thank God the message is getting out there, you know.
So you said you're a person that's in recovery.
Yes.
But you've taken your recovery and you've gone on to...
I've gone on to helping others and using my recovery, my background, to help other young people in this epidemic we're in with the opiate crisis to get better, to get well.
And
to
how
get
do you
sober.
do that?
Peer-to-peer, person-to-person, you know, role model to role model, you name it, whatever it takes.
How long have you been doing this?
It's going on 5 years now.
Okay, so tell me how you do it.
Well,
you hear about a young person in need, and then what?
The way it started was, I'm a person in recovery, so I make fellowship meetings.
Okay.
You know, the double A, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a lot of younger people coming in and out, constantly, and not staying. And I said, we got to do more about this. And most of the time, from 5 years ago, was about your pills and whatnot, and then it went right to the heroin. So it was like I got a message from God. God gave me a call, and He says, you got to do something, Anthony. You got to take it to the next level.
So
you know,
other than just sponsoring people through 12-step, you do other things.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that.
I did what was called a traveling road show. I took a homemade camper, went around from town to town throughout Dutchess County, every shopping center, raising awareness. From that point in time, mothers were meeting me in the parking lot saying, can you help my kid? Can you help my kid? Can you help my kid? Hundreds of kids later, more work had to be done. So I started what was called the RAP session, opiate recovery meeting. It's like a 12-step meeting, but it's more designed for opiates.
Mm-hmm.
It's more designed for the younger crowd.
Like
you
a
know.
Narcotics Anonymous
Yes.
comes to 2018, right?
Correct. It's on that order, but instead of 12 steps, we have 13 principles.
Okay.
You know, principles we live by, things we need to know, you know, and it took off. It became very successful. We ended up in, at one point in time, 3 counties, you know.
Now, are you an actual organization?
I'm a not-for-profit foundation, the
And what
Change
is
Your
it
Thinking,
called?
Change Your Life Foundation.
The Change of Life Foundation.
Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life Foundation.
Okay.
It was said to me years ago, if I change my thinking, I'll change my life. So it's a code we live by, and I help those younger people change their thinking.
So now, other than talking to them and giving a peer-to-peer, person-to-person, where can a person find you? Where are your meetings? When are you announced? How does a person...
Word got around that there's this guy, Tony Getz, in Dutchess County. And my number went from mother to mother to mother. I've sat in hundreds of living rooms. Mm-hmm. Everyone seems to know that name now. It got me so much recognition. Can you help my son? Help my son. As you know, the system is failing and it's crumbling. So they're looking for some kind of hope, some kind of message.
We have a lot of young people today that
Yes.
seem to not know what it is to be bored, nor do they want to. We have a lot of young people today that need constant stimulation. And we also have, married to that, drugs that are accessible, that are a lot more powerful than the drugs of our youth. Not that we got high as young
Right.
people, we're not saying that, but you know, that are just very addictive. So you are able to go in and intercede?
Yeah, somehow I get right inside their head. Doesn't matter whether they're 16 or 26.
You tell your story.
I give them just a little taste of my story. It's not about my qualification, it's about what they're going through. I tell them, I'm here only to help. I'm not law enforcement, I'm not your counselor, I'm not your friend. I got a call from your parent or grandmother, whatever, so let's have a conversation. I strike a conversation, and we take it from there. I said, do you want to get better? They all want to get better, but it's hard.
Yes, of course it's hard.
So
addiction is very, very
they're
hard
looking,
to
what
break.
can you offer? I says, I got a lot of young people in recovery. We can all get together. Whatever you want to do. You want to go to meetings? You want to go to Planet Fitness? I don't care. whatever it takes to keep you off of drugs, to keep you out of that world, I will do for you. I tell them right to their face, I love you. Unconditionally. I was loved by God himself unconditionally. I give the same. I don't love in slices. Everyone gets the whole pie.
Let me ask you a question. In your opinion, why do you think the drug epidemic? You just heard what I think it's from. Tell me what you think it's from.
The nuclear family as we know it broke down. Mom and dad, everybody, as great as they are, everybody's working. That communication, I see that there's such a lack of communication.
And social
the
services.
cell phones, the social,
yes.
They're at the table. Cell
Yes.
phones are at the table. Everybody's texting.
Yes.
You can't say, pass the salt in a text to mom and,
Right.
and then do a selfie with it.
But in
It's
social
broke down.
services, there's more adults that are breaking down the families, leaving children without parents.
Yes.
And then these children
Yes.
go to the drugs.
Yes, and it's a coping skill. It become a coping skill. You know, if you take some sort of drug that keeps you from feeling pain, emotional pain, physical pain, mental pain, stress, whatever, and
Right.
releases dopamine at the same time,
It's
all
an
bets are off.
anesthetic to
Oh,
any pain
absolutely.
and suffering.
absolutely, that's their coping skill. Now you want to remove this from them? You remember we used to have middle child syndrome.
Right.
No more.
No photographs
No
of that
more.
kid, right?
The Brady Bunch days are over. Marsha,
Yeah.
Marsha, Marsha. That don't work.
Right.
These kids are going to go to some sort of thing that's going to remove all of that, and they find it.
Yes.
You know, and it's everywhere.
We're a
It's everywhere.
society that seems to be bored. If I travel all over the world, I see people who have to suffer, seriously suffer. They have no water, they have no food, they have mudslides, they have drought, they have famine. We in our country have everything, and yet we have this huge epidemic of young people that don't seem to have an understanding of how to get out and go forward. So,
Yes.
in your opinion, what do you think is the solution?
Well, first, before the solution, you have to have the problem. You got to recognize that there is a problem.
Once
you
they
recognize
recognize
that
that.
there is a problem, in other words, how do I say, these kids are living in a bubble. This generation, you know, lives in a non-reality bubble.
Right.
I don't know if you call them millennials. I don't know what you're going to call them today, but they live in this world of technology. Nothing seems real to them. It's almost like a video game. They live
Right,
inside that.
right.
So where's the reality? There's no coping skill if there's no reality.
Right.
The solution is showing them what the real deal is. Showing them, saying, listen, this is how it is. This is how you're going to get better. This is life on life's terms. It's
Exactly.
that simple. And they want to hear it.
Yes.
I haven't
think
met a
so.
young person yet that didn't want to hear the message. They struggle, absolutely, but they do want to hear the message. I'll bring them the message every chance I get, you know, but it's getting harder and harder. Mothers are still calling me and calling
Do
me.
you
and
duplicate
calling me.
yourself? Do you have a training system that you can train other Tonys that can do it? Or-
Yes, what we did was with the Rap Session Opiate Recovery Meeting, the idea, the seed that was planted was create a young army of young recoveries to help young
Right.
people recover.
To go out and proselytize
We didn't
to
just become a
others.
fellowship, we
Right.
became a family.
Right.
You know, we have close to 60-something members, you know,
Okay.
that come in and out. It's every Sunday night in Wappinger Falls, 2 St. Nicholas Road. And they come in and they actually police
What is
themselves.
it? It's Wednesday night,
Sunday night
Sunday night.
at 2 St. Nicholas Road in
What
Wappinger
time?
Falls, 7 p.m.
Okay, well, we'll put that up as a graphic.
Yeah, yeah. And what ends up happening is people get there at 6 and they leave at 9 because it's a fellowship.
And how many Tonys are there? How many other guides are there other than yourself that can, in case you're sick, if you're not there?
In case I'm sick, I have probably a good 20 and change that I would trust with another kid and say, listen, help this one out. And they're doing it now. I can make a phone call right now and say, do me a favor, meet this young person here, meet this young person there. And they will. They soldiered up, and I'm not taking away from the military. I just use
No,
that
I
as a
understand
phrase.
that as part of the
But-
Army of
right.
Recovery.
But they do soldier up and they do help them. And they're
Who
willing to
funds
speak
you?
to anybody.
Who funds you, Tony?
I fund me.
You fund me.
I'm
So
self-supporting through my own
do you
contributions. I
have-
work overtime. I do everything humanly possible.
do you have an LLC or do you have a
Yeah.
not-for-profit?
I have a not-for-profit.
And
I'm
what
a
is the name-
501c3.
What is your name of your not-for-profit?
ChangeYourThinkingFoundation.com.
ChangeYourThinkingFoundation.com.
Yes, and if anybody, I have PayPal. If anybody wants to help me contribute,
I'm
it
sure
goes right
people
to the
will.
kids. It goes right
Now I
to the
want
kids.
to ask you a question.
Ask me a question.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
At the end of the day, we can't save everybody. We can save one, right?
Not good enough.
Yeah, so tell me about that.
I suffer with that. I was told, just be grateful, because I've spoke at schools, and the auditorium can hold 1,500, and yet there's 35 people there. And I was told, be grateful just to save one. I don't want one, I want them all. I've never had one of anything my whole life. That's my addictive personality. So if I'm gonna go into the business of helping and changing lives and saving lives, I want them all. I'm not gonna stop until I get them all.
And you know what I think? All of us need to feel we have a hero, that someone's going to fight for us. And obviously that's you.
Paula, I'm no hero.
Well,
I'm a
yes,
messenger.
Well,
I'm
you're
a messenger.
but believe it or not, you're also a hero to these young people. I thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
here. I
Thank you.
appreciate what you do.
Thank you, and thanks for the
I know what
exposure.
makes your heart beat. Obviously, it's helping others.
It is.
Thank you so much for listening to this important man talk about an important message. Donate. Talk to him. If you have a child in need, there's your guy. Thank you very much. Hi, I'm Paula Young, and I'm the proprietor here of Paula's Public House. Do join me for good food, good cheer, and good fellowship. We are here, we have fun, and we'd love to have you be a part of it. Come on down.